Namaste, and welcome to Healthy You. My name is Valerie Samuel, and I'm your host. On today's episode, we are uniting the world through pure food with a great humanitarian and plant-based food chef, Paul Rodney Turner, also known as the Food Yogi. Paul the Food Yogi was born in Sydney, Australia, and he is the International Director of Food for Life, which is the largest plant-based food relief organization in the world. In fact, Food for Life has projects in over 50 countries and serves up to 3 million meals a day. That's amazing. In his early years, Paul lived as a monk at the Sydney Hare Krishna Temple, where he learned gourmet vegetarian cooking and was soon preparing feasts for sometimes as many as 300 guests. He's the author of Food Yoga, Nourishing Body, Mind, and Soul, and travels extensively conducting food yoga workshops like this one today. He's currently working on several projects, including a new cookbook titled Sacred Foods, and it is a great honor to have him here on Healthy You. So without further ado, let's introduce our guest, the Food Yogi, Paul Rodney Turner. Namaste, Paul. Namaste. Wow. You've accomplished so much. I mean, 3 million.
That's a lot of meals. In fact, it works out to 35 meals every second.
35 meals every second.
Every second of the day.
That's incredible. Just before we actually start cooking here today, tell us, how did this all come to be?
Well, it started in India. India has a spiritual hospitality culture where they see the equality of all beings, and so the way they express that is by sharing food. So in India, you go to anyone's place, they'll feed you. So it started about 40 years ago when a Swami saw some children fighting with dogs over scraps of food. And he thought, this can never happen. Children should never be hungry like this. So he asked his students to please feed the children, and then from that the program expanded around the world.
What a beautiful story. And personally for you as the international director, when did you really start taking on the scope and magnitude of this project of literally feeding the world?
Yeah, it's a big project. I mean, I got involved around 1984 as a volunteer, and I learned how to cook and everything. Then around 1994, 10 years later, I was positioned as the international coordinator, and later I became the director. And it became a passion for me when I started to see how people responded to this beautiful program. And what we now focus on is not actually just feeding hungry people, but using food as a way to create unity. And that's a very unique sort of position that we hold in the humanitarian circles, is that we're not focusing on actually just feeding people. Although we're the biggest in the world, we're using food as a way to create unity. And when there's unity, hunger goes away.
Creating food as a way of uniting the world.
Yeah, because when people are sharing food, there's no world hunger. So we're directly addressing the cause of world hunger by this program of sharing food, encouraging people to share food.
That's so powerful, and you know, as you point out, it goes so far beyond just the ingredients that we're putting together today.
Yeah, this is the fun part, the creative side of it.
So we're making 3 dishes today with Paul, and that's right.
That's right, you got it, 3 dishes. The first one is a classic, particularly popular in northern India. It's called an Aloo Paratha, or a potato paratha.
So Aloo Paratha.
Means potato.
Aloo means potato, paratha.
Paratha means layered dough, so it's a flaky pastry.
All right.
Okay,
Sounds
so that's
good.
the first one, and then we're going to put potatoes inside that, so it's stuffed parathas, and we're going to complement that with a really spicy mango goji berry chutney.
Ooh, that sounds like a great combination.
And then we're going to finish with a peppermint raw vegan chocolate chip ice cream. Is that all right?
Peppermint raw vegan chocolate chip
ice cream.
That sounds fabulous.
Is that okay?
I think that's great.
Good.
I think we should get started.
So let's get started. So the first thing
I'm
is...
getting hungry.
We've got some boiled potatoes here.
Now these are potatoes that were
already
prepared.
Prepared. It's already cooled down. You want them cool, you don't want them hot. Now we're just going to add...
How many potatoes did you use, Paul?
Three potatoes. Three regular sized potatoes.
Three potatoes.
So we're going to put in some coriander powder. Now coriander powder is actually from you've heard of cilantro? Cilantro. So this is the seed of the plant. So the seed is crushed. We're going to put 2 tablespoons in there. 2 teaspoons, sorry. 2 teaspoons.
So that was 2 teaspoons of the coriander.
Coriander powder.
Coriander powder, okay.
Now this is a mix of spices.
That smells really good.
This is really good, actually. Very similar to the Old Bay spice. It's like it's paprika.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it's paprika, and you've got some chili in there. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that. Now you want to make it a really strong flavor, okay? And now just to give it a bit of color,
is that parsley?
Some parsley. I love parsley. You know why? Because it's high in antioxidants and it's the cheapest of all the greens, and most people just throw it away.
Isn't that what people tend to discard, right? You have the parsley on your plate and you're like, that's just a garnish.
It's actually really, really good for. I put it in my smoothies all the time.
Really?
Yeah. It's much better than spinach in most cases.
Wow.
So a little bit of
Something every
greens,
day.
and then we put some about a teaspoon of salt.
So a little bit of salt. Is this a particular type of salt? I noticed it has a pink hue to it.
Yeah, sorry. This is actually the Himalayan salt, the pink rock Himalayan salt.
So pink Himalayan salt. And most of these ingredients can be purchased in health food stores.
Health food stores, you can get them all. And the benefit of this type of salt is that it's full of the minerals. It hasn't been bleached and so on. It's pure. So you get all the goodness.
So that would be a preferable type of salt to be using.
So we're just going to give this a quick mix.
Okay.
And so it's a nice filler for the parathas. And as I said, this is cool. It's not hot. You don't want it hot. You want it to be cooled down. Okay, now let's make the dough. This is a great way to make dough, so you don't get sticky fingers and dough in your rings and so on.
Okay, so you're going to be using a food processor.
Here's a processor. Well, we've got the two cups of wholemeal flour, a little bit of salt.
So a little more of that Himalayan salt.
Yeah. So half a teaspoon.
What's a little bit of salt?
Half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon,
half
okay.
A teaspoon. Now this, because it's a pastry typically means butter, right?
That's what people are thinking.
But we're going to use coconut oil.
We're going to use coconut oil.
So we're going to put in a big tablespoon of coconut oil, all right? And
that was a tablespoon?
A big heaped tablespoon.
A big tablespoon. But really, you say a big tablespoon. It's not that much considering we're going to make a...
Not really.
Well,
we're going to add more in a minute.
Okay.
When we're actually making the parathas, we're going to add more coconut.
We're going to add more.
That's what the other coconut's for.
Yeah, we do have a lot.
Now, the idea is we're going to just give this a mix. Now we're mixing the oil. And we're going to add the water slowly, and you'll see the dough will just form.
And that's just some water.
This is actually 2/3 water. Sorry, 1/3 water. So whatever flour you use, 1/3 should be water.
Okay. So 1/3.
Yeah, it's 1 to 3 ratio.
A 1 to 3 ratio.
And you see this will start to grab in a minute.
Yeah, I can see the consistency.
And you just do a little bit at a time, and that way.
And that's important, right? Just a slow pour.
Yeah, because you don't want to add too much water. Because the room temperature has an effect on the dough as well, the moisture in the air.
Got it.
And so it's not exactly 1/3, but that's close.
Okay.
Most people today are dehydrated.
Are dehydrated.
A lot of diseases are because of dehydration. Even things like osteoporosis can be tracked back to dehydration.
Really? And certainly a general sense of dis-ease. People,
we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. Yeah, a general sense of
headaches, fatigue, are all probably.
So you need water for the main arteries to function, your heart and everything to work properly, and then you need water also for energizing the body, and for moving things around and for energizing the body. All right, we've got the dough ready. Look at this.
That looks good.
It's
I can't
amazing.
believe that was simple.
It's that easy, and it's not messy.
All right.
So we've got that dough, and it's a nice. Now, what you want with the dough, right?
Can I help with anything?
Yeah, we're gonna. I just want to show you what this looks like. I'm gonna wipe that out.
It's thick.
You want the dough to be like a baby's bottom. Any mothers out there? You know what a baby's bottom's like, right? So
that's
just
funny.
like a baby's bottom, right? Then it's nice and soft, and you know you got the right thing. This is nice and warm, and just like a baby's bottom. So we're
Can I touch the baby's
Yeah, have a look at that.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
I'm
Feels
convinced.
Good, right? So we're gonna do that a bit later. We're gonna let that sit. Put that in the flour there.
In the flour.
Yep.
Okay.
Put it in the flour. Now we're gonna make the chutney, and again, this is another raw dish.
Now the chutney you said was spicy.
It's spicy.
And that's probably one of the key, ingredients is the spice factor. Could you make a mild version?
The rule with chutney is too sweet to resist and too hot to handle.
Ooh, too sweet to resist.
So it's got to be so
hot
sweet.
To handle.
Yeah, you've got to do extreme on both ways. All right, so we've got
spicy, then.
a beautiful hot chili. This is a Scotch bonnet. I've already chopped up a few of these to help with we're going to put it in the processor. All right, so let's put the mango in there. We've got the blade here, which we also need to just get that.
And this is fabulous because you literally made the dough, and it's okay to put the mango and the pepper.
It's going to blend anyway.
It's going to blend anyway.
Mm-hmm. So we've got...
so this is energy, energy or time efficient.
Exactly. You want that. This is, a fair amount of mango here, as much as you want to use, really. That's about 3 small mangoes. Now, these mangoes weren't the
sweetest. They look very ripe?
Well, they weren't the sweetest. They were ripe, but not the sweetest mangoes that you probably would have had.
Okay.
So to counter that, we're going to put a little bit of agave nectar.
Sounds good.
Just to bump up the sweetness a little bit. Here goes the chilies, right? So this is definitely got a bit...
Yeah, you really do have that fusion of taste and flavors with the peppers and the...
Now, one of the things I teach in food yoga is to become connected or become aware of all the energies that are around us. We're energetic beings. Essentially, everything is earth, water, fire, air, and ether. All right?
So the 5 elements?
Yeah, the 5 basic elements. And so the more we tune into these energies, the more we can manage our diet, because we can see what energy do I need in my diet right now. Obviously, chilies are fire. Mm-hmm. Goji berries are also fire. Mm-hmm. Even oranges, the reaction on the body is to increase fire. Even though they're water, when you eat them,
the effect they have?
The reaction is actually fire. It increases fire in the body. So when you understand the energies and how they play in our life, you can learn to design a diet which is just right for you. Someone that's very passionate or very, very agitated, and they need more water in their diet. Because they get too much fire. They
need some cooling down.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was my question. So if you are a fiery type, should you be eating a lot more water? A lot more water.
A lot more fruits and vegetables. You see, to cool you down. Now, if you're a very lazy person, you need fire. You need some
of that spicy chutney.
Kick you in the bottom, yeah.
All right.
And if you're a little bit sort of in the clouds and idealistic, or a little bit
like more of a grounding energy,
you need earth energy. So you need more earthy foods like nuts and seeds and grains.
That makes sense. That really makes sense.
Vegetables that are growing under the ground.
From the earth.
Potatoes and beets, they'll ground you more.
Right.
So when you start to see these energies and how they express themselves, you can learn to play with them. So we're going to put extra fire.
What a great way of starting to relate to food and think of foods.
Because most people just think of food as something that tastes good on the tongue. And now we need a little bit of agave nectar, because I believe it's not as sweet as...
Oh, how much is that, Paul?
I would say about 1/4 cup.
Okay.
That's enough. Well, you don't really need it. If you have sweet mangoes, you don't even need that. All right. I'll give this a blend.
Oh, that looks pretty.
Mm-hmm. Nice orange colour. Mm-hmm. Let's push that down a little bit.
And we've been chatting, but this has been really very simple. The potatoes, the different spices that you mixed in. This is done. This is essentially raw.
This is raw. This is a raw
And you're a big proponent of raw foods.
I am. I believe it's important for people to have raw food in their diet. I don't believe that raw food is for everybody, like 100%. I actually did, for 2 years of my life, I did completely raw. And I found it was good, but it wasn't perfect. Because there are some times where I needed more fire. There are some times I needed more grounding foods. And of course, as you know, beans and lentils, they have to be cooked.
They have to be cooked.
So I felt like I needed that. My body needed it. So there's no absolute diet for anyone.
That's important.
Yeah, what I'm trying to encourage people is to tune into your body, tune into the energies, and you'll know what's right for you, rather than just listening to your tongue. So we've done that. The chutney's ready. The potato blend is ready. The dough is ready. All that very,
So
very quick.
the next step is what? To actually start working.
Roll out the parathas. Make them fill them with the potatoes, and then we're going to make the.
And that's actually we're going to start cooking.
We're going to cook.
All right. So it sounds like it's a perfect time to take a break. We'll be back after a short public service announcement.
Go ahead, ready? I'm Forrest Whitaker for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, and this is my daughter True.
Hi.
Life is full of choices. And many years ago, I chose to become a vegetarian. And it's one of the best choices I've ever made. And since True's dad was a vegetarian, she decided to be a vegetarian too. You may decide to go vegetarian for better health, for a better environment, or you can be like True and I and just decide you don't want to eat meat anymore.
I love animals and and I love being a vegetarian.
I'm Forrest Whitaker.
And I'm True Whitaker, and
We're vegetarian.
and we're vegetarians.
We're back in the kitchen here on Healthy You with the food yogi, Chef Paul Rodney Turner. We're back.
We're back.
And
ready
now
to go.
we are...
We're just about to make the paratha. So we made the parathas in the processor. It's a big heap of dough here.
The
Now,
paratha, let's tell our viewers again. The paratha is
it literally means layered dough.
layered dough.
Yeah, atta means dough or flour, and para means layers.
All right.
Right, so now we're going to roll this into a big snake, like that.
It went from the baby's bottom, if you've
Exactly.
been watching us from the beginning of this recipe, to now the snake.
All right, we're going to do big pieces, and it looks like we've got 5 here. Okay, so 2 cups makes 5 good-sized parathas. How's that?
That sounds great.
Right, so now roll that into a...
Should I be helping? Do you want me to help?
Yeah, roll that into a ball for us.
All right.
So squeeze and roll. Squeeze and roll. Yeah, squeeze is good exercise here.
I don't
That's
think
ano-
mine looks as good as yours.
That's another thing too, is that people, they pay all this money for gyms and things like that.
But you could be squeezing
But
and
actually,
rolling.
exactly. If
How come mine has a little...
you got to push harder. Okay, put it on the ground like that and do it. And then squeeze.
This looks really good.
All right?
I
This is-
think this is good.
This is a natural way to work out.
Do
in
I
the kitchen.
pass?
Yeah, you're good. I'll have to do it again, but it's good.
Oh,
No, it's fine.
it's true. Mine has some...
All right.
Okay, that's not...
So we put them here like that. Now we'll start with yours.
All right.
I'm going to fix it with that. So now the first
Oh, I
thing
see.
is,
So now we're going to roll it
We're
even
gonna roll
more.
it,
Oh, I was worried there.
with chapatis, everyone's heard of chapatis. Chapatis is your classic pocket bread, all right, in India. The idea is you don't roll to the edge. You only roll about half a centimetre to the end. You never go right to the end, and you turn it.
Oh, is that what I've been doing wrong all these
Never
years?
roll to the end.
Why? What happens? The dough breaks?
Well, you won't get a circle. You won't get a perfect circle. You have to roll just
So never roll to the end.
only roll the middle.
Only roll in the middle.
Uh-huh. You can see this is it's a pretty good shape. That'll do. Now this is the tricky part. This is what you've got to do. First of all, we get a little bit of
That is the coconut
oil, and we put coconut oil. This is how you get the pastry effect, right? This is part of it anyway.
The flaky pastry effect.
Yeah, so you need butter, but we're not doing butter.
Ooh, you are
We're doing-
working.
Cover the whole thing really nicely.
All right.
Then do a cut halfway, all right? And then we get the potatoes and put
And it's just a little amount.
a bit of potato all over it. Like this. Spread it
It
out.
looks so simple, but it is. It is.
Oh, it is actually. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like a nice thin spread of potatoes.
Mm-hmm. And the
then-
reason is we're going to fold it.
No, we're not going to. We're going to roll,
Roll it.
It's the fun part. You do this. It's like you roll it like this all the way
Wow.
around,
I hope our cameras are getting all of this.
and then you got like those little funnels, and
Ah.
then you gently just squash it down like this.
Oh, now you got to squash it?
Yeah. Then sprinkle a bit of flour on top,
Oh my gosh.
and then you roll again.
Again?
Yeah. That's it. You roll again, then you get the pastry. You have to be gentle on this one
Yeah.
because you're squeezing it now with the pastry.
Wow.
And that's it. Have you got that on?
Yes,
Bit of
everything's
little
hot.
bit of coconut oil in both of them.
All right.
Just one of them for now, actually.
Which one would you like me to
The
start
closest one there. Just put that in the middle there.
with? Okay.
I'm going to get that started. You can turn that down a little bit.
All right. So we have, and I was just about to ask you, we have this on a medium heat.
Yeah,
Should I
just
be
below.
turning it down?
Just below medium is good. Just below
so
medium.
just low medium heat. Okay.
Right, I'm going as quick as I can. This is a fun part too, is when if you want to have a competition with people and see who can roll the best one. 'Cause,
Well, I mean,
it's sticking right now, so you have to be
so
careful.
we need to make sure that this doesn't burn, right?
Yes. So,
Is that my job?
yeah, but it's good right now. It'll probably take about a minute like that. And
I
you're going to
can't
put
be responsible.
you're going to put a
for
little bit of coconut oil on the top.
So a little more?
Yeah, and I need some of that too. After it's not ready, not yet, but in a minute you're going to put coconut oil on the top.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then turn it.
And then turn it.
Yeah, with the coconut oil on the top.
Oh, I love the smell of the coconut oil.
Oh yeah, it's good for you. See, coconut oil is great because you can cook at high temperatures and it doesn't denature. Whereas a lot of other oils, they break down. You can turn that now. Put a bit.
Shouldn't I put a little bit?
Bit
Okay,
of oil
you do
on
that.
the
You
top.
do that. All right.
Turn that over.
So, for example, what kind of oils do people typically
Well,
cook
you
with
know,
that
like
they
for
don't
example,
realize are-
olive oil is the worst thing to cook with. Okay. And just turn that down. Oh, so you turned it down already, right?
Did you see that?
Yeah. Now, but
Yeah.
let's put a lid on that.
A lid. Okay.
Let's put a lid on that. And we got this. Let's print this one. So we're going to do this one here.
See?
Get that one done. You can cover that one too. And we'll do this.
What if my lid isn't as big? Can I put that there?
Don't burn mine, please.
I will.
We just got a message from God that we have to be careful
yes.
not to burn anything.
Our producer's worried that I'm going to be burning his paratha. Don't worry, Jorge.
Thank
All right.
you.
Oh my God! I just sent shivers up my spine.
That's right.
Okay, I think this is actually good enough. We'll give that a
Ooh,
pass.
that's beautiful.
And this one will get a little bit more.
Of the butter. Or
So
oil.
these
I'm
are
sorry,
very
oil.
these are
coconut oil.
actually parathas are like, you know, a poor man's feast for a king. It's like they're not expensive, but they're very rich. I'll just give that a little more there. So that's it for parathas. Now
So we're done with the parathas.
We're going to make the ice cream. We're going to get this finished cooking these, and then we'll make the ice cream. And the ice cream's really quick.
All right.
So
So while
ice
these
cream.
are cooking,
We can start
Vitamixing.
We can start. Yeah. Well, we can finish this off quickly, and then we'll do that. Let me see. I think this is ready.
that one's ready.
Turn that one off.
Woohoo!
That one's
All
done.
right.
So we're done with that. Let's do this. Let's do the ice cream right now.
This is Healthy You, and we're in the kitchen with the food yogi, Paul Rodney Turner. Paul, we're about to make a raw vegan ice cream.
Peppermint ice cream with chocolate
Peppermint.
chips.
All right.
Is that okay?
That
Good?
sounds
Right.
delicious.
This is a great recipe because it's simple, it's healthy, time efficient, everything. It's all good.
And,
So-
it's vegan.
and it's vegan.
Non-dairy.
Yeah. Now, ice cream traditionally is fats and sugars. So in order to make this authentic, we're using everything's like fatty or sugary, and we're not using anything with water. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. So we put in 4 bananas. This will make a lot of ice cream.
Those are ripe bananas, yes?
Nice fresh bananas. Put
All
them
right.
in. This
Here,
is
give
gonna be
that
our-
to me. Let me do
Good.
my job here.
Now we're putting in. This is your fat. So we're putting in. This is actually about 2 cups of coconut oil.
2 cups of
2 cups.
coconut.
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. It makes a lot of ice cream. 700 mils of coconut cream.
Wow.
Right.
Do you need a spoon for that, Paul?
I may need a spoon. You can give me that back.
So this is coconut cream, and the other one was coconut oil.
Coconut oil and coconut cream. Now, dates will also add to the sweetness, but also add to the body. You want it to be a nice firm body. So we're putting in about 8 to 10 medjool dates. These are the soft dates. We've taken out the seeds. 1 cup of agave nectar. Now, this is because we're making a peppermint ice cream. We want a green color, right? So we want to put some
Is
spinach
that
in it.
spinach?
Yes, put some spinach
You
in it.
are a food yogi.
This is a great way to get a natural green color.
What about the taste, Paul?
Oh, you won't taste it. There's so much coconut and bananas and
You're not
sweetener
going
in
to
there.
taste the spinach.
You won't taste
this
the
is
spinach.
fabulous.
All right.
But you'll get all the benefits
You get
of the
all the
spinach.
benefits. Now
All
we're
right.
just going to, I've still got to add some more
I have
things.
faith.
We're going to give this a little bit of, just get this started.
Okay.
Just to get this started.
Oh, there goes our nibs.
It's our nib, that's for later.
We'll talk about those in a
I
minute.
need to just push this down a little bit. Now, cacao butter, a little bit of cacao butter, maybe about,
So what is cacao
this is actually
butter?
This is actually the fat from the cacao seed.
Wow.
Now what I've got here is cacao nibs, and I'll talk about that in a second. A pinch of salt to bring out the flavor.
And that's still our pink Himalayan salt.
Just a little pinch.
All right.
And the most important ingredient, peppermint, pure peppermint essence. 6 drops.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's enough. It's very strong.
This is pure
Pure.
peppermint oil.
That's it. Your ice cream's done.
This is looking fabulous.
So we're going to use this as our chocolate chip,
Oh, wow.
just like that. It's pure. The thing about cacao, in its pure form, it's very rich in magnesium, great for the heart. very high in antioxidants. It's one of the superfoods. It's amazing. So just give this a bit of a stir.
So cacao is a superfood.
Yeah,
So we
it's a
stir
superfood.
that, and then this is going to have to freeze.
It'll freeze for about 4 to 5 hours, and then you get a nice ice cream.
And the final part before we sit down is what?
The mango chutney on top of the
paratha.
We're going to do that right now. With
Let's
the ice
do
cream.
it.
A bit of mango chutney.
That's beautiful. Look at these colors, the orange and the reds, the parsley, the
Put some on the
parathas.
side there. Yeah, we're ready to serve.
All right, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back with the food yogi, Paul Rodney Turner, and we'll sit down and try our wonderful dishes today.
Thank you.
It was very special to share our time today on this episode of Healthy You with the food yogi, Paul Rodney Turner.
Thank you.
Yeah, as he has demonstrated, the ideal diet for anyone seeking peace and compassion is one that is as close to nature as possible. So nonviolent, intentionally prepared, and designed according to one's unique bodily constitution and circumstances, right? So in other words, it may not always be 100% raw, but it is always 100% plant-based and love. You know, Paul is available for personal consultations. He travels extensively. He has yoga retreats coming up, a new book coming out titled Sacred Foods. So Paul, if viewers want to get in touch with you, if they want to come on a retreat with you, where do they find you?
They can find me at ffl.org or foodforlife.org, which is my charity, or foodyogi.org. Both of them are .org. And you can find me on Facebook also at Food Yogi. And we have 2 retreats coming up this year. Maybe there'll be
Where are the retreats?
one in Colombia in June, late June, and one in September in Brazil, in a beautiful, beautiful paradise in Brazil.
Sounds amazing. You know, really, this concludes our episode of Healthy You. I'm your host, Valerie Samuel, and may all beings everywhere be happy and free. Namaste. Namaste. Let's dig in this beautiful meal. Thank you so much, Paul.
We did our meditation. The food has been blessed. Now let's enjoy it.
Namaste. Thank you. Paratha. This is spicy. You warned me. Oh, yeah. It's good. I don't think Jorge's going to get any. This is delicious. Oh, I like that mango spicy. Oh.
Spicy, sweet.
Perfect combination. Perfect combination.